14 days before my wedding, my father looked at my fiancé and said, "Mara has lied her whole life. She had a baby at 18, tried to trap a man, then threw the child away." My mother leaned toward Daniel. "Don't let her trap you too." I sat still while the people who raised me tore me apart. I did not defend myself, because Daniel already knew the truth. He had found the daughter my parents forced me to surrender. They had no idea she would walk into our rehearsal dinner. 9 years earlier, I was a college freshman, pregnant by Daniel, my boyfriend. When I told my parents, they pulled me from school, confiscated my phone, and sent Daniel a breakup message from my account. They threatened to cut me off if I contacted him. I gave birth to a girl on August 13th. A nurse let me hold her for 2 minutes. She had dark curls and a crescent-shaped birthmark near her shoulder. I whispered that I was sorry before my mother ordered her taken away. The next morning, exhausted and surrounded by adults insisting adoption was my only choice, I signed the papers. My parents told the adoptive agency I wanted no contact. I never knew that. I spent every birthday writing letters to a daughter with no address. Daniel returned years later when his architecture firm began work at the children's hospital where I was a nurse. He found me in a corridor, and the sight of him stopped my breath. Over coffee, I confessed everything. He listened without interrupting, then asked the question I had been afraid to ask myself. Could she be mine? The dates matched. Daniel took a DNA test. Months later, a new match appeared. An 8-year-old girl named Sophie Walsh, listed as his probable daughter. He hired an investigator and an adoption attorney. Sophie lived in Brooklyn with Rachel and Thomas Walsh, a pediatrician and teacher. They had always told her she was adopted. They had tried to reach me, but the agency claimed I wanted a clean break. Our first meeting happened in February. Sophie entered wearing purple and carrying a glitter-covered album titled My Life. She showed me every birthday, school picture, and violin recital I had missed. Then she asked, "Did you want me?" "Yes," I said, "more than anything." She studied my face, then reached for my hand. "Can you come back next week?" We did. Each visit became easier. Rachel and Thomas did not fear us. They said Sophie deserved everyone who loved her. By March, Sophie had agreed to attend our rehearsal dinner and become our flower girl. My parents discovered the reunion and exploded. They accused me of disturbing Sophie's life, threatened to shame me at church, and offered money if I disappeared again. When none of that worked, they invited Daniel and me to dinner. That was when my father called me a liar. Daniel placed his phone on the table. "I am Sophie's father. DNA proved it." My mother went pale. He showed them the test, letters from the Walshes, therapy records, and documents proving they had blocked contact. My father stood, furious. "That child is gone. You have no claim." "We are not claiming her," I said. "We are loving her." My mother threatened to object at our wedding. "Then you are no longer invited," I replied. 2 weeks later, 40 guests gathered for our rehearsal dinner. My parents arrived anyway, wearing the expressions they used at church. After speeches, Daniel stood. He told everyone we had been separated by lies, that I had survived losing our child, and that chance had given us another beginning. Then the doors opened. Sophie walked in wearing a white dress with a purple sash, holding Rachel's hand. She came to me, faced the room, and said, "I'm Mara and Daniel's biological daughter. I have 2 moms and 2 dads." My mother rose. "This child should not be here." Sophie looked at her. "Are you the grandmother who didn't want me?" Silence swallowed the room. My mother stammered, but Sophie continued. "Mara said she wanted me. You stopped her. Is that true?" An elderly woman from my parents' church stood first. "Leave," she told them. "This is a celebration and you are poisoning it." Others followed. Nurses, friends, Daniel's family, even church members my mother expected to control. My parents walked out beneath the weight of every stare. The next afternoon, Sophie scattered purple petals down the aisle before me. Daniel cried when he saw us. During our vows, we promised to choose truth over comfort and love over fear. Today, Sophie lives with Rachel and Thomas, but joins us for Wednesday dinners and alternating weekends. She calls me Mom Mara and Daniel Dad Daniel. Her room in our house is purple, filled with drawings and violin music. I cut off my parents and never regretted it. They taught me that blood can be used as a weapon. Sophie taught me that family is built by the people who refuse to let love be buried.